Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self-improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We'll also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 185 of my journey. At the beginning of the year, I challenged myself to run 365 days in a row this year, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I had also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame. Now, this is only my second year ever running. Within the first full year of 2020, I was able to run 1,002 miles, and I did that within 175 days. So me going for 365 in a row, as well as 1,500 miles. That would be a 50% step up in the amount of miles I'm going for this year, as well as a 100% step up in the amount of days I'll be attempting to go for this year compared to last year. Not even to mention I'm doing these days in a row, so that is another feat in itself. Also within this time frame, I've challenged myself to run two big major races, one being a 50K trail race, which I was able to get done and finished on June 5th. Was able to get it done in 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds, so I'm officially an ultra runner. And even more importantly, I was able to continue the streak alive after running that race. That was, I think, on day 156, and we are currently on 185, guys. So the streak is still going after running that big mileage race. We do have another big mileage race coming up that is a regular marathon. That is the Detroit Free Press Marathon in October. Really looking forward to that one. Hoping to shave off some time. I will also be running the 1 mile and the 5K the day before to do the Motor City Challenge, which is the three races, the 1 mile, the 5K, and the marathon. So I'll be doing that as well. Really looking forward to that, like I said. Other than that, let's just kind of break down some mileage for the day. So this past week, guys, these past 2-3 days have been pretty busy days. Friday, went up north. Saturday, ran up north. And then Sunday today, ran at a park. But the last 2 days, I was unable to do mileage for you guys. So I just want to update you quickly on those 2 days. Friday, I put in 6.3 miles. And then yesterday, I put in 6.1 miles. Now, for today, guys, I put in 8.49. So pretty much 8.5 miles. I'm going to be really beating myself up for not doing that 0.1 more. So when I upload it for it to say 8.5, it'll say 8.4 because it doesn't do that next decimal number. So for the day, 8.4. That put me at 40.9 miles for the week, guys. So that is some big mileage for the week, which put me at 25.7 miles for the month. So not necessarily, we're only 4 days into the month, already 25 miles in, so that's a pretty good chunk right there. Now for the year, we are sitting at 826.8 miles, so that is a good chunk as well throughout the year, especially going for the 1,500 mark. Had a schedule on that. So for the day, again, 8.4 for the week, 40.9 for the month, 25.7, and for the year, 826.8. Let's real quickly, though, focus in on these monthly miles. So every single month, I challenge myself to do a 100-mile challenge in honor of a charity in which I donate money to, as well as I start a coinciding fundraiser where I try to raise awareness and money for that charity. So for the first 6 months in the year, we were able to raise money for 6 great charities. The 6th charity is actually still going on until July 7th, but we're not going to talk about that one because we got a 7th great charity that has just started here at the beginning of the month. And that 7th grade charity is in honor of the Detroit Phoenix Center. And what they do is they help out youth around the Detroit area, anywhere from, between 13 to 26, 27, I think. And whoever, if they're homeless and they need help finding homes, schooling, just help finding places where they can shower, get hygiene. So it helps out with the youth homeless within the Detroit area. That is the fundraiser we are focusing on here this month of July. You can find the link to donate to that fundraiser on the Defining Discipline Instagram story, as well as the Defining Discipline Facebook story, or my personal page's Instagram story, or my personal page's Facebook story. Within those stories on the top, it'll say donate on Facebook. You click on that, it'll open up the Facebook link where you're able to make your donations, however much they may be. Know that all donations that get made to this, no matter how big or small, all cut of your donations go directly to this charity, and Facebook is not taking any portion of your donations. That's why we continue to do it through Facebook and do these fundraisers through them, because they've made the agreement not to take any portion of it. So pretty much for that, you guys know where to find the link to do that. I do know times are tough, though. Not everyone can donate. If that is the case, don't feel bad. You can. The best thing you could do, though, if you still want to help out, is to click that share button, because we are trying to raise awareness these months, guys, for these charities. The best thing you can do is just click that share button, put it on your page, so maybe people on your page and your friends list will see it, and we can raise awareness for it. Even if they don't donate, it's the whole thing is trying to get the message out there of what these charities are doing and what their causes are. So yes, they would gladly and lovely and very well appreciate your money, but just getting it out there and raising the awareness for them is also a very, very good thing for them. So, and even if you can donate, clicking that share button helps out even more. So think about that. Other than that, guys, I think we kind of covered pretty much all of our bases. Besides, I've been doing a word of the day and talking about the book I am reading. I am reading the Beyond Order by Jordan Peterson. It is the second book in his 12 Rules for Life series. It is more about chaos, when the first book was more about order. So great series of books. I was unable to read the past 3 days because I was on vacation. Like I said, I went up north to visit the wife's family. Friday and Saturday, got back Saturday night, and then today we went out and did another family party on my side, so was unable to read, but I'm going to try to get some reading done actually tonight when you talk about it tomorrow, and it would be actually me starting into the second rule. Finally got through the first rule. So that is the book I am reading, and other than that, we've been doing words of the day to try to expand my vocabulary as well, because that's what the reading is for. Been trying to just become a better reader and really become a better talker and just learn more words. So for the word of the day today, it being July 4th, the word of the day is patriot, and that is one who loves and supports his or her country. So patriot is the word of the day. Now, let's get into today's episode. We're going to keep it to the point, hopefully short and sweet, because it's kind of actually getting late. I need to get it uploaded and haven't even really started dinner yet. So for that, let's get into today's episode. Episode 185. Today's episode, again, it being July 4th, today's episode is freedom. Now, I wanted to talk about freedom, guys, because, I think it's something that can be very cliche at times. People, freedom, but I don't think I think it's something that we really, a lot of us, including myself, for the longest time, I think it's something we really, 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 truly take for granted, especially nowadays with, just the political discourse that's going on between the left and right, and all the arguments. And I think we're really pushing some stuff here, pushing the envelope here, and not in a good way. I don't know. I just think I wanted to talk about freedom for today because today is about freedom. It's about independence. It's about our country and the things that we've done. And I know, again, it's something I think a lot of people take for granted and don't really appreciate enough. And it's something that like I said, something that I took for granted for a very, very long time. And, I didn't really care, didn't think about it, didn't really care because, believe it or not, that's something I think I have realized over the few years is that our freedom is so good, and what our country has, what the freedom has built for our country is so good that we have no other problems but to just hate the thing that gave, we're biting the hand that is feeding us. And I find it so ironic to take it for granted and not to really appreciate all its value of what it's worth. And I mean, you can see it within other countries. I mean, just the main thing, going on today now with the left and right is the whole, them, the right claiming the left's trying to censorship and they're trying to pull the freedom of speech. And, then some people on the left saying, well, freedom of speech isn't that important. And then, but I don't think they really understand the actual importance of it. But, I don't want to get political, and I'm not going to get political. So the main thing is to really appreciate what we have and to really, instead of knocking it, to really try to understand why we have it and why things are the way they are. And yes, there are always going to be room for improvements, and there should always be improvements made. But I don't think you should throw the baby out with the bathwater just because there's issues here and there. I think our freedom is one of the greatest, if not the greatest thing to happen to us and for us. And we have these rights to do whatever we want. And yes, I mean, I get it. There's laws and there's things like that. That was something for the longest time I never understood as well. If we're truly free, why are there these laws and all these things? And I get it. But, I mean, compared to other countries in this world, what we have the ability to do is night and day. And the examples, the greatest example I can give you is if it was so great everywhere else, we wouldn't have people flooding from these countries to come here. They're coming here because they will have a voice here. They're coming here because they have the opportunity to grind it out and to actually make money instead of grinding it out somewhere and making, slave wages to basically ship the stuff over here. And anyways, like whatever they're making for slave wages in other countries, it's just basically getting shipped over here so we can buy it for cheaper. And it's a screwed up system, yes. But again, freedom is the greatest thing that has ever happened to us. And there's a reason, like I said, people are fleeing these countries to come here for freedom, to be able to say what they want, to criticize their government, to be able to do, to go out and to get tattoos, to be able to go out and vote if marijuana should be legal. Or, there's countries right now, if you get caught with marijuana, you get killed. There's countries right now that if you're gay, you get killed, okay? Yes, there's plenty of issues here that we do need to solve, but we also need to truly, truly be grateful for the freedoms that we have that have been blessed upon us from our forefathers because of this country. And I get it, they were not perfect, and they never will be, and we shouldn't put them up on a pedestal as if they were perfect. And again, the system that they left us isn't perfect. There's going to be flaws. But the good that it has given us, we do have to really acknowledge and appreciate and be very, very grateful for. These freedoms are such an amazing thing. And that is just my little spew of freedom for today about the country. Now let's talk about personal freedom for just a quick second. Personal freedom, the freedom to do what you want, when you want, how you want. That was something I also really struggled with. And it seemed harder and harder and more unattainable. And to quote Jocko, discipline equals freedom. Now, how ironic, this is the Defining Discipline podcast. But it is so true. The more I started to live a disciplined life, the more I started to get out here and work out and try to live a scheduled life and just schedule everything more and become more organized and stop wasting so much time and become more disciplined with my routines and have routines. Like, when I started to become more disciplined, I started to realize the more freedoms I had within my life. Minor example is just my running in general, me being able to get out there every single day and run. I remember starting at the beginning of the year, people telling me I'm never going to have any free time to do it. I'm not going to have enough time in the year every single day to get out there and run. I'm about to have a kid. You're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to get enough sleep. You got to go to work. You got to do this. And I had all these people telling me how I'm just not going to have enough free time to do the things that I want to do. And then I couldn't accept it. And I realized, it was like with what Jocko said, if I can become disciplined, I can have the freedom to have a schedule and to be able to fit all of this in within a day. And yes, sometimes it is stressful. Sometimes I'm down to the wire trying to get these episodes in. But me staying disciplined has only brought me the more freedom throughout my life to be able to make these choices of, hey, today I want to go run here, and then I'm going to go spend some time with my friends. Just the more disciplined I became, the more freedom I had within my life, the more choices I had of decisions I was going to make. It just seemed I'm more busy now, but it just seems like everything, since I am more busy, it just seems like I am doing so much more and getting so much more done, and I'm seem more productive and seeming like I'm having these choices and more freedoms are opening up for me because of that, as opposed to when I wasn't necessarily living a disciplined lifestyle of trying to get out there and be organized and get out there and exercise and do these things and make the time for myself to get out there and do the things I want. It seemed to be, I had all the free time in the world, but I was never doing anything, and I wasn't, never really truly felt free. So if you want freedom for yourself to do what you want, when you want, what you need to do is to instill some self-discipline in order to do that and to really start living a disciplined lifestyle, guys. So let's kind of close this episode out. So for your daily discipline for the day, guys, is to really think about the freedoms that we have. Maybe you aren't listening from this country. Maybe you're not an American. And if that is the case, maybe you don't have as many freedoms. But you have whatever freedoms you do have. It is to really appreciate and be grateful for the ones you do have, because there are people out there that have less freedoms than you. And I think I can truly say that because if you're listening to this podcast, you probably have a little bit more freedoms than possibly other people that probably don't have access to listen to this podcast. So for your daily discipline today, it is to really think about the freedoms that we have and that you have. And today is Independence Day, like I said. is to really think about what not even just the forefathers, but um, all of the past military and all of the people who fought for this country and who have died for this country for our freedoms, to really try to think about them and to honor them and to be grateful. And like I said, to really try to understand and to know that there are always going to be room for improvements within this country, but to be truly, truly grateful and to understand what our freedoms really, truly represent, not just for us, but for the whole entire world. We are a leading example, so let's try to continue down this path, guys. I want to thank you so much for following along and listening to the Defining Discipline podcast. I am your host, Scott. If you guys can, please give us a like, a subscribe, a follow, and a share on our Facebook, our Instagram, our YouTube, and whatever podcast streaming platform you guys have been listening along on. This is episode 185. I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 186. Please be sure to, if you can, go make your donations for Detroit Phoenix Center for the July 100-mile challenge. Other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 186. Peace out.